Hello there! My name is Van Voltra, but you can call me V. Why? Because it's a short and cool. So, let me tell you about myself a bit. Just a mechanic from Northern Europe. And since we met here on YouTube, let's talk a bit about YouTube. I like to watch YouTube creators, content, any kind of it. So, in a really monotonous and a boring voice, let me introduce to few of them. So let's go quickly through a few of them. One of the type is machining related content, and one of the example is inheritance machining channel. I really like the amount of details and effort that he puts into his projects, and he does them with a really high quality. Basically, as I would say, for himself. Another category is car related stuff, but not just car as a show, but with a touch of engineering. And the super fast math is a great example of it. He rebuilds his project with the point of view of engineer, he modifies them a lot, and on the way he's explaining what's the idea behind, how he did the stuff. Awesome channel. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Another type of content that I like to consume is related to robotics, and one of the bright example in this category is James Bruton. He builds crazy robots, and the way how he does it is really interesting and educational. Next person in this category is Stuff Made Here. When I watch his video, I'm always thinking about the same. How is it possible that one person can fit so much knowledge in one head? Basically, they share my opinion with the James. Can you imagine? You need to be proficient enough in the mechanical engineering, software engineering, and electronics to build stuff like that. And I really enjoy their content. Shortly speaking, if the content is a display of passion, creativity, and a hobby related stuff, I'm into it. I always want to do something similar, but I always feel like I'm missing something. What exactly? Talent? Dedication? Brains? No, just a garage. Can you imagine how much space required to hold all that stuff? But still, I would like to do something interesting that will fuel my will to live every day. So, for a while, I was thinking to learn something new. Let's say programming, for example. You can also do awesome stuff with it, and the best part of it that your imagination is the only limit. Well, I'm not saying that I have a great imagination, but it's still the limit. And also your skills, but we're not talking about that. So I decided to learn some coding, and maybe one day I will change my specialty and become a software engineer, like my hero, my big brother. He is an IT guy and he is doing really great. Same as my biggest hero, my biggest brother. He is not a software engineer, however, he's also doing really awesome in life and always been example for me. Love you, brothers, and thank you for your support. So, I started my journey with some tutorials, and you know what? Making classes of bank account and a bank and a very simple program that will transfer funds between is not as exciting as it could be. So I quit out of boredom and went to play video games. Yeah, I like video games. As you guessed, if I'm so much into creative content on YouTube, at some point algorithm will start feeding me the game development content. One of my favorite is Sebastian League. He does really crazy stuff with the coding. And maybe this is exactly what I was looking for. If I will make my learning process of a coding as exciting as I can be with the games, maybe I will not quit like a little bitch on the first bump. Now it's a hard part. Time to pick my first Pokemon. So what should it be? The Unreal Engine or Unity? So I don't know. While I was researching this question, I kinda shaped my opinion on both of them, and I would like to share it with you. But please keep in mind that it's only my opinion, so don't go crazy over it if you don't like it. Let's start with the Unity. Back in my days when I was choosing in between, Unity didn't have any built-in project, if I remember correctly. But now when I checked it today, just to make a video, they actually have something new. And I downloaded few of them. One is the small scale competitive multiplayer, and another one is something 2D. So let's check the small scale competitive multiplayer. Here it is. Out of the box, it's telling me that something is failed assertion, but I hope it's nothing. So let's try it. Okay. Most likely I will not find anything. Object reference not set. Well, not a best start. Okay. Let's check another one. This one is actually working. But here is my opinion about Unity. The way how I see it, that mainly projects are empty. Normally I start with nothing. So if I need to make my character move, I need to create movement component. If I need to make it online, well, a bit of netcoding should help me. And it's like this with everything. Basically, I start blank, and if I want something, I need to make it from zero. Of course, there is a bunch of tutorials, great talented people explaining how does it need to be done. And basically, that's a really good option for my case, because my main goal is to learn something new, especially programming, basically. So, yeah, that's the Unity. If I'm usually start with a blank, and if I need something, I'm basically Googling how to do it and doing it. So let's compare Unreal Engine. I also downloaded some template projects, third person, because it seems like closer to something that I have. And right away, well, it's also have something, but at least it's out of the box working. And on top of that, it has built-in multiplayer. So seems nice. And here is my opinion. You already have robust replication and client server prediction or whatever, even with the high ping. The Unreal template holds itself nicely. It's some kind of a shortcut. But this is the whole point. To achieve similar result in Unity, we will need to learn and learn a lot. As a result, by the time when we get in front of two similar projects with minimal stuff, people who choose Unity route already have a decent experience and can do some stuff. And all that time was spent into learning basic stuff is a huge investment. Another point that I would like to make, if Unreal Engine is a shortcut that will allow me to start right away building something on the top of the template, well, it will work. And I will be able to present something by the end of it. But there is a little catch. Let's say I would like to do something extra on the top of the template that comes with Unreal Engine and add a new mechanic, like sliding. Sliding involves changes in the movement system, and now all this fancy lag compensation does not apply as smooth. Now I need to figure out how all these things works and modify it accordingly. But me, as a newbie coder, staring into few thousand lines of codes across multiple classes and trying to understand how does it works and how can I adjust it to fit my new custom movement in a game, well, here it is. All my shortcut is gone, and now I need to go back and learn all the basic stuff that Unity guys started with. This is my short opinion on both those options. Both are good, each of them has own pros and cons, so which one I should choose to start with? My choice might be obvious, since my main goal is to learn, but no, I will go with Unreal Engine, and here is my reasoning. I would like to learn, but I don't hate myself so much, so Easy Start seems like a nice option for me. Now to the main point, what kind of game or project I would like to start with? Something easy, I guess. Let it be shooter. Why? Well, I don't have any great idea for a game, and I will just go with something popular. Another point, it should be multiplayer. Why? Well, I know it makes game dev harder, but I don't need to have all this complicated stuff like lore, story development, character development, if I can just shoot my friend in the face with a shotgun and have a fun. At least for a start, I hope it will help me to stay motivated. Keep it simple, right? So, where should I start? I have a project, well, I have an engine, I have a project idea, and now it's time to make something. It might be contradictory to what I said earlier, but I will guess I will go back to bank account tutorials. The idea to have at least some kind of beginner level of programming skills to start, since I don't want to use visual scripting in both of the engines. But this time I will at least have a motivation to learn it. See you in a multiple months, right? But before I will go, I want to get back to the disclaimer at the beginning of video. So, why am I here? As you see, the quality of my content is not the richest one, it's not the best quality, and even doubtful. So, why am I here? Let me tell you this, the internet is full of stories, successful stories. Well, we often see catchy videos on YouTube like I made this horror game in 12 hours. You check it and like yeah, it actually looks okay. So you're amazed, you're hyped, you're jumping on the hype train, and after 6 hours of work, you have a jumping ball in your project. So disappointment, rage quick, and fuck that shit. I will go get some fast dopamine from a doom scrolling on a TikTok, right? So as your average Joe with average capabilities, half-baking content, not only barely can speak English, but also have troubles to clearly explain myself, share them with another person, I feel like I was hit by a brick and lost half of without being embarrassed about it. My content is the content that we didn't ask for, but maybe this is the content that some of us might need to see. The real story, not the successful one, but the real one of your average Joe. Thank you for attention. It's kinda surprising for me that you managed to go through all this video. But I guess see you in a years. Have a nice day and I will see you soon.